time, more than sports now. More than crunch time, we rush like fourth down.
I be taking win, we don't mess with laws. I be taking win, we don't mess with laws. I be taking win, we don't mess with laws. I be taking win, we don't mess with laws. We been on that paper chasing all that fashion. We been on that paper chasing what you ration.
Been in the grind now, we ready for prime time, ready for shine now, we ready to get smile. On the rise, all eyes up on us now. Blast off spaceships till the touchdown.
Energy level on high, put that trouble on fire. Double it down, I'ma spit it around. Click, clack, boom, we the best in town. Energy level on high, put that trouble on fire. Double it down, I'ma spit it around. Click, clack, boom, we the best in town. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though.
Yeah. Yo, I got crazy feedback in my headphones, so I apologize in advance if anybody's hearing me kind of funny. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Usually it doesn't sound like this, but you know what? We're gonna run with it. My name is Pro. Welcome to the world famous ProQuo Show, and by world famous, I mean world famous. You know what I mean? Famous all over the world in certain select spots. What's going on? We are sponsored today by Black Raspberry. I almost coughed as I drank it. That wouldn't have been good for the non-official official sponsors. Speaking of non-official official sponsors, I got somebody in the building. What up, man?
I don't know if I can hear you yet. Hold on.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's the problem.
My mic is weird today. I have like feedback or something. But I'm hearing
See
me.
if I can hear you now, Pro.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I gotta dial back in.
1 2. You hear me good? I think it might be me. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. 1 2 2. 1 2 3. I mean, I'm seeing my signal. I just think my signal sounds junky. So we're gonna try to see what we can do here. We're getting ready to. Whoa! I get that in my head, man. It's stuck in my head. Hold on. Let me turn the hat around. There we go. A little better. Not much. 1 2. But still it's still just a little cheese on the mic, but I'm good. I mean, we do what we can. I'll try to get Quo back in the room. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I do.
Oh, okay, good. So I'm using Restream in a different way. But I can't get my camera to switch. It's looking at the front.
Oh, that's wild. I have that happen once in a blue.
Video.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna show this. Let's see. I think I can show
Oh,
this.
there we go. I got you. Hey, there he is.
What up, man? You're in the dark, but it's all good. I see your outline.
I'm trying.
You
to
know,
turn
I'm
some
usually
lights
in the
on
dark.
for you. No,
Do I sound weird to you, or is it just in my headphones?
no, you sound good. I'm
All
just
right,
curious because it's got my AC running, so that's how you know that's not.
There you go. Nah, you
AC
sound
coming
right.
off.
Hey, you know what?
Man.
Check this out.
What's up?
Bang! We can sell stuff on here now too. Look at that. Bang!
Ooh, scan the
Look,
code.
Professor Lyrical CD. Yep. Get that little scan going. Boom, boom.
I like
Look,
it.
support the stream. Boom. Look at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
So
I'm
I'm
just
having a
express.
crisis with my Mac, bro.
Oh, really? What's that?
Crisis.
Not working?
So I started researching. I'm getting a new computer, right? Like a couple weeks. So I started doing the research with computers I want, and then I did use my external hard drive, and I took all the new data, and I started moving it. So I had to keep my computer on for like 2 days because
Right.
my Mac is from 2012.
Yeah, you got the old school joint.
Yeah, and the battery's dead, so I had to keep it plugged in. Anyway, I get it accomplished. Today, I go to record. I turn this joint on at 1:15 p.m. and I shut it down at 8:45. Got
Mm,
nowhere. Like
nothing.
the thing, no, it don't work.
Mm,
I can't even get into my Google Chrome. I can't get into Logic. Thing's done.
mm.
So I
Yeah, I
said,
mean
I,
that's.
I gave a kiss goodbye.
I got a couple computers like that floating around that I got some stuff on that I'm like, oh yeah, one of these days I'm gonna hunker down and get a bunch of the stuff off of it. And they're also from that same time. I got one from 2013. The other one's from 2017, and the 17 one works all right, but it's slow turning on, and
Yeah,
I just
man.
gotta. I was thinking of it today actually because my son is trying to do. He's been angling and positioning for a gaming computer, and
Uh-huh.
and big shout out to the little man. I know you got the little ones at home that are always amazing every day, but
Always.
he's been gaming for the gaming computer, and he actually had us do a contract tonight. So we did a contract
Filled it
with
out. John
yes with
Hancock on that thing. That's nice. I like it.
he literally. I told him, I said, I want you to pull up Chat GPT, and I
Hmm.
say create a gaming contract that's suitable for fourth graders with their family. And so he had a rough skeleton of it, and then he did a bunch of updates. He's like, all right, I'm gonna change it to do it this way. So it had like 10 steps in it. We had a few edits. We were sitting down at the kitchen table tonight before playing some Monopoly, which I did not win. But
Wow.
my
Okay.
wife took that.
She
She
took the
did.
spot.
Henry went out first. He had some bad luck,
Mm.
and then I don't know. When you play Monopoly, are you supposed to take the? I mean, first of all, when's the last time you played Monopoly? Was it like millennia ago?
2 years probably.
Oh, all right, all right. So I
Yeah.
hadn't played Monopoly in like 7 years, right? And so,
Mm.
like, when someone goes out of the game, what happens to all their properties?
They go off of it. You flip the card around and you auction it off.
See, we don't do the auction. I know that's what you're supposed to do, and I'm
Mm.
like, we just kind of like we're like, okay, they're for sale again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, essentially, the only way to get that auction is to land on it.
Right. Okay.
So
Well,
if
we
that
just played.
player,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you
it's
ain't
kind of the
supposed.
same thing.
Like some people do the whole thing where they say, okay, I'm out now. You auction off the property. You can all vote to buy it, but
Right. Right. Right.
that property gets flipped over, and when you roll your dice and you land back on it, you could rebuy. You could buy it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
No
think
doubt.
if it has like X amount of hotels, I don't know. There's some different levels to it, but man, Rat
Yeah.
Race. Robert Kiyosaki made a game called Rat Race that blows Monopoly out the water.
Oh, okay.
And you start off in a circle like a rat, you know what I'm saying, playing a game of what everybody's doing. And
All
your
right.
objective is to get out of the circle to start playing real life, where
Oh,
they teach
really?
you about dividends, they teach you about stocks, they
Oh,
teach you
that's
about
dope.
real estate.
That's
Yeah,
how it should be. That's
yeah.
absolutely how it should be.
That was my favorite game. We had a blackout. We put the
Yep.
candles on, bro. Play some Rat Race. you know?
Well, we were getting a little man, educated on it just a little bit. So, and I hadn't played in a
Yeah.
while. So we've now played like 5 times in the last couple weeks. So I know I have like 3 Monopoly boards, and so I was looking around the house. I'm like, I think there's one up here, and then my wife just went out and got the classic one over again.
That's the
Um,
one, though. That's the only one. All this extra stuff is no good, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
no
yeah,
bueno.
yeah.
I
Well,
tell you
they
what, though,
have.
I
I
got.
have a Lowell one. I have a Lowell Monopoly board, and
Oh, okay.
like the, and I haven't opened that one. What's
Merrimack Street,
Yes.
$25.
No, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It's like, and I hadn't opened it to see which street is which, and so like, what do you think is going to be the equivalent of Baltic Ave for Lowell?
I know,
Like,
Bob. you
you know,
know, you might be past the bridge.
I
I
think
think
I,
I think Merrimack Street is the boardwalk.
I think it is too, and I think Baltic. I'm going to go with Appleton Street. I'm going to go with Appleton
I
Street.
don't want to
Yeah.
get in trouble and start saying some
Yeah,
names,
yeah, yeah.
man.
And it's funny, like, where will Middlesex Street come in? Because one part of Middlesex Street could be very Mediterranean Ave, and then the other part could be very Park Place. You know,
Well, and you
so
know what could actually really, so if we think about it, Boardwalk and Park Place, right? So maybe Park Place is Merrimack and Boardwalk is where like, no, Boardwalk is Merrimack and Park Place is where the Market Basket dude lives.
oh,
we used to, I used to
yeah,
bring my kids to get
Demoulas.
candy over. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, come on, Demoulas, Market Basket.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think because it's in the acre though, so I don't think I think they would I think maybe it'd be interesting. I mean, I'm sure somebody knows. Anybody in Lowell, let us know. But shout out to
don't
C
open it up.
Steez. What up, my
What
man?
up, C. Steve?
And I don't know who wrote Yo Fellas. I don't know why it didn't come through. It just came through his Facebook user,
Facebook
but
user, what's up, bro?
I'm thinking that might be Tree, because she always says "What's up, fellas," but not sure. Not sure.
Okay.
I see 7 of you watching right now, and I just don't know who's who. But my
I don't
thing's
even know
being.
if I can share this thing on my Facebook, man. Let me go to my Facebook real quick.
Let's try.
Um,
What up, Jonah? What up, Jonah? Quo was trying to share something strange. I don't know what it. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's NC-17 or PG or G, but we're about to find out. Maybe not. Nope. So much for the share. He unshared himself. Now, let's see. He's back.
yeah, so it had me log out when I did that, but I shared it.
So that didn't work. Yeah. Well, you know what's
So,
weird
Pro,
is like
man,
you
let me
know
tell you, man,
how.
I gotta get you up to date real quick, bro. Oh my
All right,
goodness.
hit me,
So,
hit me.
Freedom Corner, we rocking the Freedom Corner thing like heavy, and
Hmm.
obviously I know you are like the mathematic faucet. So as soon as we gotta turn you on, bro, you,
A
we
faucet. I've never been called a mathematics faucet
as
before,
soon as
but
you turn that thing on, it's coming out, man. You're getting pure water all times.
all
So,
right.
yeah, we don't gotta worry about Pro. But man, we got some people from Mississippi out of the Freedom Corner brand that we really working up. Talked to JB today, talked to my man Jack City,
Oh yeah, you were
talked to
telling me you didn't
Fly.
give me the details though. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm telling you now because you're the first. Um, the collective is gonna be that we get these producers all back in line, kind of like the Abbey Hood mentality, but a
Right.
little different. It's gonna get funneled through a Dropbox, so we have all our producers upload to the Dropbox, and all the artists that are in the Freedom Corner brand has
Right.
access to it. And
And I was
you
telling you,
know,
I got the Gucci Dropbox. I got the Dropbox with the extra memory. So
terrestrial, yeah, the
yeah,
extraterrestrial memory.
yeah,
I'm buying a brand new Mac. The thing is going to be M2 chip, 1 terabyte. I'm gonna have Final Cut Pro, Logic
what
Pro.
up,
I'm
Tree?
getting everything, bro. And
No doubt.
it's just, yeah, it's about
You
everybody
with that
works
is
for.
dangerous. That's dangerous with you with that. You know.
Dude, I'm telling you, it took me. I didn't do nothing today. I waited 8 hours to do nothing. I wrote 2 rhymes, but I had a rhyme that Fly gave me a beat this morning. I put it on. I wrote a whole rhyme while I was doing my job,
Mm.
freestyling it, and
That makes the work go by easy, right?
ooh, it felt. But yeah, and I came home so happy until I had to turn that computer on, bro. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
tough, bro.
stink. It's all good.
I
It's
mean,
coming
you
to
think
a
it's one of
finish.
those things where it'll eventually click on and just kick in?
I wish, but I've never spent like literally, bro, 8 hours. I couldn't even get the Chrome to open.
Yeah,
I had,
yeah,
and then it was shutting it down by itself. It was just like
yeah. That's irritating.
rebooting. So it's just done, man. It's it is
That's
done.
irritating. What up,
But
Michael?
what
Shout
up,
out to
Michael?
Michael. Shout out. Um,
Okay,
Yo,
so
yeah, no, that's the move. I mean, I'm with you on that. The and like we were saying earlier, man, some of our older listeners, they've heard Smile. You know just how
I
dope that
know,
is.
man.
And it's
I
like,
talked to Mr.
can't wait to
Barksdale
get that
today,
out.
bro. Well, I
Yeah,
left him a
man,
message
I
because he's
love that
part of the
name,
movement, Mr.
Mr.
Barksdale.
Barksdale. Yeah,
Brand new file.
he didn't get any of the early official run, but he was always down from
Jay,
the start.
it's funny because him and Jay were the only two that didn't get the official
Right. And
spots.
we've
But
more than made up with Jay.
oh, definitely,
Jay's
that
been more
bro.
than made up.
I said, JB, what's up with this no video, bro?
Yeah, bro.
This
Yeah.
thing,
J
but I
JB.
love it. You know,
JB, you got you got Jay Brown. I mean, we can't even just say JB because you got to be like, there's 2 JBs, you
that's
know?
correct.
It's
Yeah,
like, there's like
exactly,
5 J's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Jay's up in the high upper echelon of these letters, man.
Speaking of JB, baby, what about these Celtics, bro? What about these? What up, Tree? I see you in the chat.
So I want to be. It's a shame to say, Pro, that the only game I watched was with you.
No, I'm not talking about game. I'm just talking about the recent
No,
movement.
I
So
know.
have
I'm
you been
watching.
watching
So
the?
like I said, the only game I watched was with you, and
Yeah,
I like. But once the season was over,
those are
and
good
I heard
seats.
some controversy.
Those,
Yeah,
those are good seats.
they were very good. Um, very good. Had to step down a little bit,
Yeah,
but you know, now I'm looking at. I'm seeing they got Porzingis is like, dude, he's like that dude from Denver, the center from Denver.
yeah,
Denver was.
yeah. In many
You know what I
ways.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a good addition because he can score, he can rebound, he's tall, he's quick with the ball. You know what I mean? Like
yep. When
keep
he's
our
healthy,
game high pace.
and he's good on defense too. So it's like
But
probably the
Marcus,
best available center you could probably
that's
get.
sad. Yeah, Marcus's heart is what we lost through this
Absolutely,
transaction.
absolutely.
But we got Jay. You know, Tatum and Jay, I think, will replace that as best they can, and hopefully with Porzingis coming into the mix, and you know, I'm probably gonna watch next season because you know, it seems like this might be a really good move.
So I'm gonna give you a quick little burst here. Don't usually post them too much, but here I want to show you the relevancy. So check this out. So this is me and the little man. Now me and the little man were at that game. That's a Wizards game. All right. Everybody was all Celtic out, right? It was all Celtic out, right? Celtics got slam basted by
Slam
slam
basted.
basted, bro. Like
Slam basted.
it was so like it was so awful. I can't even tell
Turkey
you, right?
times two.
Yes, bro. It was crazy.
Oh my
Um
god.
it was unreal. It was let me get out of this. Uh
They
but
lost
the
some
reason
people watching too though, so I can't. I'm like,
Right,
man.
but the reason I'm posting that is they got lambasted by Porzingis. Yo, he had 33
Uh,
points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists against the Celtics. Jason Tatum was the only one who scored any points. He had like 28. Wasn't enough. The
yeah.
Celtics were. It was the worst shooting night I've ever seen the Celtics have. They just
And it
literally
was
missed like
because of
every
him.
shot.
You were right, and he was the
And,
main feature
and
as to why they
Porzingis
were.
hit everything,
Yeah.
everything. He hit everything.
You know, like I think
Tree's
in life
asking
it's
about
the
the
same
Titan, by the
thing.
way. Tree's asking about the sunken submarine. Yeah,
Oh, I
that's a whole.
know. They're gone, right? They're
Yeah,
gone at
man.
this point. That
You know,
rest their souls.
I have to be truthful about this. I wasn't heavily following it when I first saw the headlines. I saw
Yeah.
the headlines actually in Clubhouse, and it was like Titanic missing, and people were saying Titanic missing, right? So I wasn't paying attention. I was like, I don't care about Titanic, right? And then I was
Right.
seeing more stuff about Titanic and Titanic. I finally had to buckle down and read the thing, and I was like, oh, they're looking for the
For the
Titanic.
Titanic. And
Uh,
didn't they spend like something like 150,000 each?
some crazy amount of money. What Michael said here, I could listen to this for days, and I'm so out of tune with sports. Y'all are great things. Yeah, we'll get back to the sports in a sec. But yeah, so I mean, most people know more about this than probably, well, definitely me, probably me and you. But it's like, yeah, they're rich people going to check out the Titanic
To
in a
explore, yeah.
submarine. It tragically, malfunctions or whatever. And yeah, obviously, as of even
You know,
yesterday,
I mean, in all honesty, it says, you know, what, like, I know you might not watch these things, but I tell you what, man, I'll be watching this Utah show, the Skinwalker Ranch, bro, and mathematically, scientifically, there's just certain energies in this world and on this planet that you don't want to be around.
right?
If you are an electronic essence and you cross this path
What
with
up,
this,
Dadcast? We got to shout out Dadcast. What up, man? Shout
oh,
out. We got
Dad
to shout out
Cass,
to
what's
Dad.
good, brother?
What up, man? JP,
I,
man. Yo,
I
we
watched
don't.
that
We
episode
clearly
a couple
don't have
times.
Dadcast budget because you can't see Quo. Right, he's in the dark.
Exactly,
We got to get some
right there.
Dadcast budget for
Yeah,
Quo.
you know. Hey.
No, but my bad. Go back.
Well,
You were talking about the technology.
yeah, the technology is just, you know, it's one of those things that we have now, and let's be blessed that we have it. I guess
Yeah.
is the point. But
I mean, the thing is like I've seen a lot of tasteless kind of stuff online on TikTok. There's people I mean, there's this girl singing a song about the Titanic. She's basically like kind of laughing and poking fun at the fact that like, rich privileged people die. They have so much
mm,
extra money, and I'm not with that. It's like people die, they die. You know what I'm saying? But I get the bigger point that people are like, look, people die every day. We're just paying attention to these people because they're rich people who died. If they weren't rich, it wouldn't be a story. I don't know. If you had 20 nobody's on this thing happened, it would still be a big story, right?
Well,
It's like
I mean, what did they say?
nobody's
What's the factual information on the Titanic? Did it hit a? What did they say caused that thing to sink?
the original Titanic sunk
Yeah,
yeah, it was iceberg, yeah. So the original
iceberg
thing.
hit it, clipped it, brought it
Yeah.
down.
But I mean, this thing obviously it's just a malfunction in the whole submarine to go down and see it, right? And
Right.
so the thing is like I think it had like somewhere in the neighborhood of close to 90 hours for air, and it was
Yeah,
that's
closing
with
in.
5 people on it. They were doing like the math, and they were like, "Yo, this isn't going to be a good look." And so it was kind of a speed thing to try to get down there, whatever. And I had to admit it, like I wasn't following it, right? And then I saw all the just the posts that people were making about it, like, aha, kind of funny and whatever. And I'm like, yo, people are still dead, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get,
Yeah,
and I had spoke out about 3 days. I feel like it was 3 days before, and I was like, yo, this boat over on the coast of Greece with people trying to immigrate from their country sunk, right? And the whole ship basically capsized or whatever. Too many people on it, hundreds and hundreds of people. You see these
wow.
boats come across, right, with refugees on the boat trying to pay. Don't pay the ferryman, right? Paying to get over. In this case, over by Greece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these boats sometimes don't make it, right? And this was a tragedy where most of the people on that boat died as well. There were a bunch who did still
Wow.
make it, and they were in Greece and in Kalamata,
You flip
Greece.
over in the ocean, man. It's a
Yeah,
problem.
it's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whether
you
you're
got to get
coming from
very lucky.
Sudan or wherever you're coming from, it's going to be tough. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what? One of the best movies I seen, man, was with OG, where literally he's on the boat the whole time, and I don't think he says one word. Robert Redfield,
Robert
is
Redford.
that Redford? Thank you, Robert Redford. He's got this movie where he's on a boat. He
Hmm.
gets lost out at sea.
I'm on a
There
boat.
might be some, conversation in the beginning of the movie, but bro, it's just him silent, and you watch this 1 hour and 45 minute movie, he don't say nothing, bro,
Mm.
and it's just so real.
Sounds like
Like,
Tom Hanks one when he was on the stranded island
yeah, like the Tom Hanks
with
at
the
least
Spalding
gave
ball.
you, yeah, that was more like a saddened adventure of island life being stranded. You know what I mean? This Robert thing was like, yo, you seeing nothing but the
Dad
ocean the whole
Castro.
time.
It's been a year. Buy a light, Quo.
Oh man, yeah, no, come on, man. Look at that.
There,
That's
yeah,
that
yeah,
next
there
life.
you go. You can't have a light behind you though. You know how that goes. You got there. You go. That's
I'm
not bad.
chilling. I'm
That's good.
chilling.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I'm chilling, man.
He
We is
just wants to see
chilling.
your smiling mug. That's all it is. We got to get you
But
the ring light.
yeah, no,
But
no,
yeah,
I didn't expect to come on, man. Let me tell you what I
I
was
know.
doing so you understand. Like
Absolutely.
I was listening to new music, stuff that I'm filtering. I got a lot of people I'm listening to, so I was just vibing out to some music,
Mm,
and I'm really feeling good about this new thing I'm doing with obviously I want to get you introduced to as well, which is this Afro fusion music
right.
where we have the Afro beats and we spit the East Coast flow or the down South flow or West Coast flow to it and bring rap and Afro beats to life.
Mm.
And I've been having fun with it, man. But other than that, Nick Jack City, Mississippi, he's going crazy. He is working, fly working. We work,
Yeah,
man.
man. There's a lot of work
Yeah,
going on. Definitely. The
definitely in the backdrop.
the for people who don't know or just checking in listening, we were talking about just a lot of things real quickly, but uh Quo and I were just talking earlier before we came on the show just about the music or whatever, and just like different ways to get some of the stuff out there and get people on point and on base, and with what we all got coming up for the next year or so, and between our own ProQuo unreleased music that we're trying to get out to you guys and our individual stuff, there's just a lot of stuff in the pipeline. And so shout out to our man LD. Just want to give all the respect to him, because he's been a workhorse. And we don't want to put all his business out there, but he lost his mom recently, and so condolences to him. And I was out in LA for a movie premiere. I was out there doing the Montreal Girls thing, and shout out to
And
all
shout
them,
out
by
to
the way.
Jade too, man. Hey Jade, I heard you, bro. I see you, son.
Oh,
Wow,
absolutely.
Jade is
And
special.
no doubt. And So LD, he rolled out there. He didn't have to. He's like, no, I'm gonna go out there. And he hopped out. He just took a flight, just hopped out there, and I was out there. It was just me really, and then he's like, no, I'm gonna come out. So, and he did that, and he was talking to me, and his mom was sick. He had moved back in, and so I was talking with him about how cool it was that he was able to actually move back in. And then he went back home, spent some time with her, and and then he told me like a week later. I was like, oh yeah, bro, like so. Condolences to him. He's just a workhorse. People don't even know, and for all the stuff.
Driven by a divine light, that man. And
Absolutely,
he's just such a good person.
Whatever
I
he
love
has,
that
I
cat.
need to be drinking more of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. And I'm
It's
telling
more
you,
than
with
just the black raspberry. He's on a
more than
different
just
level.
the black raspberry and the Aquafina, man, and the
Yeah,
Poland Springs is more than that. And he's definitely, one of the most incredible people. And I just feel like, anybody that's been associated and affiliated closely with this Freedom Corner brand that, LD and J Cal got operating, it's it's really life changing, man, when you can be around good people that want to shoot for the stars with you,
right.
ride or die with you, and you feel like, hey, you going to LA, pro? LD is he's the dude, man. He's the main guy that represents it, and he's
Yeah,
there with you. You already know he's making that
not
thing
even a
happen.
question. Yeah, it's not. He's
It's
just like, yeah.
serious.
He's like, if
Yeah,
I can
this
go,
is serious.
I'm going.
Right. No excuses. Aside from
Absolutely
me
crazy.
getting damn bamboozled, you can't have no vacation. I'm like, don't be taking away no more vacation time, man.
Mm.
I'm going to Canada in August. Well, July 31st, I got my vacation day. I put that thing in 2 months early. I already got Airbnb in Canada. I'm going. So y'all better figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, don't mess with me.
I couldn't get up to the um, so the Montreal Girls premiere, the United States theatrical release. It's crazy. I've learned a lot about the movies and stuff, and I know we're hopping all over the place, but just trying to get it all in. But
Yeah.
the difference between a movie that actually goes to the theaters and one that just goes to, like, let's say Netflix, it's night and day. And there's a writer's strike obviously out there, and things have kind of come to a halt. And if you have a movie that's in the theaters, like, you can tangibly see the receipts, right? You're like, oh,
Right.
this many people
What
came,
it
I
do.
get this amount of money, right? And it's not in
Yeah.
question. It's kind of like selling CDs is the metaphor, right?
And to
So,
intervene with that, bro, people
yep,
go to Rotten Tomatoes and look the movie up. That
right.
joint is on there with a really good rating.
Yeah, it
And
had.
that
I think
speaks
it had perfect
volumes.
score on Rotten Tomatoes. Yep.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
but the thing is like movies that go to Netflix, you think people are making big money because they're on Netflix or whatever, and they don't know their gate receipts either. So
Right.
it's like the movie, if you physically blessed enough to be in the theater when this movie is, and granted it's not in every theater, but my point was it opened in California first, right? They have distribution from a company that does distribution now, which means it can literally get into every theater, and then it did the Montreal release, and obviously the Montreal release was sold out, right? They did multiple dates. I think their last date was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the day before. And
What's that? 3 weeks of running or
yeah,
2 weeks?
it was weeks, yeah,
Yeah.
like up there.
Yeah.
And so they were up there, I think for like 7 to 10 days. I think they were there live. You could do, like, I did the Q&As in California, but the Q&A in Montreal is a whole different level, right? Because it's from Montreal, and so there's just a lot of energy behind that. But my point being is that they do the theatrical release in the United States, and then they do the one in Montreal, and then little by little you'll see the creep into the different theaters and so forth as they pick them up, right? And
Right.
we did the one in Montreal, and the next day it was in the LA Times. We couldn't believe it. It was like, yo, a lot of the people that were there were like, some of the mid-level, a few bigger level kind of press companies or whatever, but then the LA Times is like obviously one of the biggest papers in the country, right? So they got a great review from that, and they showed up, and so it's
You
like
remember that
those
movie
kind.
Boondock Saints? Remember that one, the
Yep,
original? Yeah. So
yep,
like that was one of those movies that went so far under the radar that it became that cult classic like a decade later.
yeah, sure,
But
sure.
I remember being that dude when we was going down to Lynn to visit my cousins, and we went to the movie store at Blockbuster, and they had that joint there, and we saw it like right when it came out, bro.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
And we knew about it. I'm like, man, this thing is the illest ever. What's up? Like, how come no one knows about it except if you in, Lynn, Revere, like Boston area, you don't know about this movie.
Right. Right.
and
Yo,
and
shout out
that's
to
just one of
JP,
those.
by the way, too. That note on the screen there. I know he's got to run, so I just wanted to shout out. I didn't mean to cut you off, but he's I got to come back and watch this later. I got to scram, but shoot me an email, Pro. I want to get you guys back on it for an episode if you're down. He's been talking about that, having us back for the second one for a while, and
Great
so
people, man. Great
yeah,
people.
definitely
Salute.
shout out to them. They do an amazing show. If you guys get a chance, check out Dadcast. Quo and I, were just like watching. I found this one like randomly, and I was like, I probably did a search like dads, right, like
It
podcast,
was
like and this kind
perfect.
of stuff.
It was like when you cook the perfect meal,
Yeah,
eating
man. And
ingredient, everything was.
I
And you
stumbled into
wrote
their
that
thing.
beautiful letter. You wrote the email. It was the
Yeah,
email
right.
that he said,
But
"Wow,
I actually sat there and watched like 3 or 4 of these episodes. I was like, yo,
yeah,
this is
right."
dope. Like, this is a dope podcast. And
Hmm.
they have basically dads on their show is sort of the theme, right? They're dads and they have dads on the show. So it's for
And he
dads by
plays
dads.
island music. Hey, look at
Yes.
you about to get some
Oh, yeah,
Nigerian
yeah.
fans
Remember that.
flowing
Yeah.
through. Yeah,
Yes.
he's like our radio station on these cruises. It's the
Yep.
only
Yep.
live station. We do that, but island music. Hey, Jay Cruz got 2 records. Pro about to have a record. We about to have Fly with a record. It's gonna be island music for y'all.
Yeah, man, for real. And
Mm.
shout out to Jonah, shout out to Michael, shout out to Tree. Yeah, the whole. I mean, getting
Charles,
back
what's
to the
up,
other
brother?
thing, getting back to that whole thing with the whole Ocean Gate thing or whatever. I was just looking up one of the articles out here, and this is the one that I saw earlier. It was the one talking about James Cameron says the Titan passengers probably knew the submersible was in trouble. He says catastrophic pressure implosion killed all 5 passengers on board. The U.S. Coast Guard said Thursday, somberly solving a mystery that had captivated the public all week. Some experts, however, weren't surprised, including film director and deep sea explorer James Cameron. The Titanic director is criticizing the safety of the vessel that was to have explored the wreckage of the Titanic in the depths of the North Atlantic and comparing the cause of the accident to the ocean liner's historic disaster. In a series of television interviews, Cameron said he had suspected all week that the Titan had imploded on Sunday. Cameron told ABC News he believes the Titan's hull began to crack under pressure and that its inside sensors gave the passengers a warning to that effect. We understand from inside the community that they had dropped their ascent weights and they were coming up trying to manage an emergency, he said. The Titanic director is no stranger to deep sea exploration. He's made a whopping 33 dives to the shipwreck himself, even calculating that he spent more time on the Titanic than its own captain did a century ago. He also drove the Mariana Trench, the deepest known point on Earth, blah, 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 but it goes on and goes
So
on.
I
But
wonder how they're. I mean, hopefully, they it wasn't too painful for them and they just went pretty quick.
yeah,
I would
yeah, no,
assume that
absolutely.
pressure. I mean, hopefully they didn't suffer much, but that's just such a sad story. And the only
Yeah,
reason why I knew about it is because, wifey's on the IG and she saw it on the IG and she be showing me stuff. I'm like, damn. Between that and like gun violence with these kids in schools and just like, I don't watch TV, man. I just listen to music. I go to work. I do work, listen to
yep,
music, try to be positive, talk to good people. But real life, man, it's a lot of craziness happening, man, in all different, you know, avenues and veins of life. It's crazy.
yeah,
But that's why we have songs like No, because
yeah,
that's what
man.
changes the crazy, man. I love
Yeah,
music,
man.
man. You're killing it. 200, almost 300,000, man. You working it.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, songs definitely the therapeutic, kind of release.
Yeah.
The stuff's and and that's the other thing. Sports is like that other thing. And we were talking about the Celtics earlier, and it's like, for me, watching the Celts is one of the few things that I regularly watch. Like to be honest, I'm not even a big. I was never a huge Pats fan. I was obviously a Brady fan, and I wasn't a super football guy growing up.
And
Right?
I think
I'd
that,
watch the
yeah.
Patriots when we were kids. The Patriots, we were real little kids, the Patriots were terrible. And then you just didn't watch
Yeah, but
football
if we
because they were
had
so
Barry
bad.
Sanders on the Patriots, you would have loved it.
Right. And
But
so
you know
we
what
didn't we
I'm
didn't
saying?
have a reason to
Yeah.
cheer.
It was
And people
nothing.
don't know that don't know old Boston history of football. The football
Mhm.
wasn't that thing unless you were playing. I played outside with my friends and did all that kind of
Right.
stuff too, but my parents weren't letting me play like
It,
real
it was,
football. So I didn't get into it
Drew
like that.
Bledsoe, man. Drew Bledsoe
Yeah,
was what
right, right,
started the
right,
whole,
right.
transition. And then when he got injured and Brady was on deck, man, that's how he
Yep.
just,
Yep, and
coincidence how that
that's
happened.
when everybody, that was like a casual fan like me
Yeah.
became like a real fan.
Well,
And
one sport, speaking about my Canadian relatives, is hockey. And I never really watched it aside from being, those summer times where I was chilling with my family there. And that's all they watched was hockey. So, but when I
yeah,
I started appreciating. I'm like, man, this sport is one sport that I wish I was into growing up, but I did not want anything to do with it.
Me either.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like not me, but it's such a cool
I saw
sport.
my cousin, by the way, out in Montreal. He lives out in LA, and he
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out, and he's a big hockey fan. He's my first
yeah.
cousin. I've only got to see him in my life like probably 4 times because he's lived on the West Coast.
Wow.
And I saw him a couple years ago when I did a show out at USC,
Mm.
and then I was, we tried to hook up a couple other times, and it was like, we talked online and stuff like that. And he grew up a huge hockey fan, so he's always calling me about the Bruins, whatever. He's like
It's too
keeps
late,
me up
yeah.
to date about the Bruins.
It's
And
a cool sport, man.
yeah, I
Not like
mean,
basketball. Basketball number one, of course. Boxing
I
number two
watch.
for me, but
Yeah, me too. I mean, I watch hockey a little bit. My wife, she's actually a decent Bruins fan. Not like now these days, like now that we're not there. It's like
decent
you
is
can't
yeah, but
see it
decent
easy.
is good. Yeah, decent is good.
Yeah, so it's like, it's tough. Oh, by the way, I did sort of the sacrilegious thing so out here. So I had a moral dilemma about this. I have to say this to anybody, our Boston people watching. So
What's up,
I
Taylor?
went to a Washington Nationals game with my son for his little league to raise money for the little league, right? So all the kids, they have like a little league day, and the kids on the baseball team get to go see the Washington Nationals. So
Uh-huh.
so he's going to grow up more watching Washington Nationals than he will Red Sox, right? But he knows Red Sox and that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, when you were a baby, I watched David Ortiz when like that was like he was a baby the last year they won the title, and he was like
Yeah, yeah.
2 months old or something, whatever, and a few months old, anyways. But I did the math wrong. He was like 5 months old. But
5 months and
five, 6 months. So
yeah, 16 hours and
he
29 minutes.
knows, and he knows, he remembers enough watching, Tom Brady. He came here a Tom Brady fan. He came here a Celtic fan. But, well, not really. He wasn't really watching basketball like that, but he knew I was.
Mm.
So now that he just finished a basketball camp today. So he
Oh,
played for a week.
congratulations.
Yeah, he grabbed a little hardware. His team won the championship, and shout out
Okay.
to the coach, Tony Berkeley. Tony Bentley. Excuse me. Got my colleges wrong. Tony Bentley basketball camp. We have a high school here called Wakefield High School, which is really one of the big high schools for Arlington. Right, Arlington's right next to DC.
Yeah,
So
Arlington,
we went to
Virginia.
that basketball camp, and one of his friends was going to it. So he went. And my son's on the fence with basketball. He's like, he can kind of take it or leave
Take
it,
it or
but
leave it. Yeah,
he was about to quit. He had to play the older kids. He wasn't liking playing with the older kids, of course, right?
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And if he would have been a little like a month or two younger, he would have still been down with the they call it high school, NCAA, and NBA. So he had to play
Yeah.
an NCAA because he's like a month new, but it's a 2 year window in there, and there was a whole bunch of
Uh,
kids on the deep end of that. So the
yeah,
old
yeah.
kids in that are way bigger and way stronger, and they can shoot from three and stuff. And so he can barely hit the rim from like anywhere
Oh,
near three,
man.
right? So he's a baby. So, but to his credit, he was about to quit, and last night he gets home and goes, "Daddy, can we go to the gym?" I was like, "The gym? Yeah. What do you want to do?" He's like, "I want to go play basketball." And I was like, saying to my wife, I was like, 2 days ago he wanted to quit. Today he wanted to quit. He's like,
He
"I don't
got
even want to
tired out.
play." Yeah. And all of a sudden he's like, "I'm gonna go work on my game." So he went to the gym with me. And he's like, "Daddy, can you teach me how to shoot a 3-pointer? Can you teach me how to do a layup better? Can you teach me how to do a free throw better?"
Yo, you know what that sound like? You in third grade, bro, with the math, man.
I know,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? Very,
Right.
very similar.
But
Yeah,
he knows like daddy's a shooter, right? So he's like, "Oh, dad,"
yeah.
like he's like, "If you bring me, I'm gonna figure this out, right?" So I'm like, "Henry, when I was your age, I couldn't hit the rim. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You said exactly. You hit it, bro. Good job.
yeah, like I couldn't hit the rim, bro. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I was showing him little ways to cheat. I was like, dude, I shot with two hands from my chest until I was like 13, 14. I'm like, there's no
yeah,
shame in
yeah.
your game, doing it almost like a
As long
chess
as you
pass a
get it
little.
in, bro, it don't matter how you do it.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
he got his swag on, and today he scored a
Yeah,
basket. Well, he scored two baskets really. He had a
good.
couple rebounds and a couple assists, and his team they won. His team won the championship, so he was pumped. And he's
Well,
he's the youngest
congratulations,
kid on the
King
team.
Henry, man.
He had to
Little
work for
Floyd
every brick
Jr.
ball. So,
Little
anyways,
Floyd the second.
right. So, anyways, plays the basketball, but he went to the baseball thing just ended a couple months ago. So we go to the Nationals game, and he wants
Yeah,
to get some swag, so he gets a hat.
yeah.
And so my wife gets a hat and the Nationals hats. And I'm like, can I actually wear a Nationals hat? Like, am I co-signed? And so I got a Nationals hat. So I technically, as a Red Sox fan, wore my first, opposing team hat. So just want to put it
Yeah, you
out
know
there.
what? Hey,
I
but
want
you
to
did
come
it for your
clean.
son, man. That's okay. That's all good, man.
I
Well,
want to come.
speaking
It's
of
a cool hat
young,
too. It's a cool hat.
look, when you're young, you can see so great. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about eyesight real quick. So, talk about switch subjects. Man, back in the day, remember that movie Beowulf when it came out?
Yeah.
The first 3D where that was the first movie you go to the theaters to throw the glasses on, right? So I go to the 3D thing mid afternoon and I'm watching the joint. I got the glasses on, and when you take the glasses off, all the lines on the screen are all like triple double. It's all like it doesn't look clear. It's 3D. So I had the glasses on, and that while I was watching it, it flipped where I was actually seeing that the 3D, but like I had the glasses off. So I lowered my glasses, and I realized, nah, man, this thing's still not in good quality. So I put it back on, and as soon as I did that, I felt my eye like itch. And ever since then, I had eye issues, and they just got worse. And I went through some crazy things, but I never got glasses because the doctor was like, "No, you don't need them. Your eyesight's like, it's decent." So I've been going this whole time struggling, bro. Wifey just got her eyes checked. She got the updated prescription. I said, "Baby, let me see this thing." I put it on, bro. My life changed.
Oh, what? Yeah.
I said, "Whoa!" Like I didn't realize
How bad your
how
eyes were?
foggy, yo. It was. I was in shock because she just got this new prescription. And the last prescriptions I wore them, but they weren't like life altering. You know what I'm saying? It was like I can
Yep.
see a little better, but it's where I don't want to wear these things. This joint, I was like, this is HD. This is fog, man. This is HD. This is fog. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get my eyes checked tomorrow to get me
Oh,
some
that's good.
glasses, bro.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the eyes, man, they play tricks on you. It's the way vision works is wild. Like I don't know if you've seen this, but like you only see a very, very narrow slice actually. And what your brain does is it hypothesizes what else you're seeing and it fills in the
Uh-huh.
blanks. So you see clearly in your little range right here. And
Yeah.
I've actually seen camera work of this what's done where they show you what you're actually seeing. So it's like, let's
Wow.
say you're in a room, let's say it's a bunch of trees and stuff that you're looking at or whatever. The only thing you see clearly is like right in front of you. The rest is blurred out, like you were talking about.
Right.
But your
Right.
eyes play such a good trick on estimating and filling in what you're going to see because your eye is really just concentrating on, kind of
That
what's immediately in
central.
front of
Yeah.
you.
Right.
And then it just does the math. It just fills it in. It's crazy. It's crazy. So your eyes literally play tricks on you. Like they
Yeah.
show you what's not there so that you can help make sense of the situation. And then it does it's a little bit from recall and it's a little bit from what it thinks is there. So like
Yeah.
that's how you can trick the eye. It'll fill in the pattern for you that it thinks is going to actually be there when you're not actually seeing it. It's wild. Totally wild
Well, I'll
stuff.
tell you what, bro. To all my people out there that might need glasses that ain't checking themselves, let me just tell you something. Go check yourself because I felt the immediate understanding of how much more energy I'm gonna have just by being able to see
Yeah.
clearly without straining my eyes.
I can see
That one thing,
clearly
bro.
now.
That's exactly what I said, bro.
Yeah.
Because when I put the glasses on, Shan looked at me. She's like, "What's
See
wrong with you?"
all the obstacles
It
in
was
my
like
way.
I was like I was dancing to that melody, and I said, "Yo, I can see it.
I can see clearly now the
The
rain.
rain is gone, man. Come on,
Yeah.
man." I said, "This thing is crazy." What I said, "Call my doctor tomorrow. Get me in there. I want to get him checked."
Yeah, man. That's good. That's dope.
Whoa, yeah, man, that's cool. I just don't
So
want, I'm picky though with the glasses though.
so let me
You
let
know?
me switch speeds here for you for a sec. So mention the catastrophe, right? Mention the
Yeah,
Celtics, but I want to go back to the Celtics for a second. So
yeah.
Celtics obviously they got an amazing now big three. They had to lose Marcus, right, to do this. They made a point the other day on one
We
of the
love you,
sports shows.
Marcus. We really do.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And his statement that he made, by the way, today to the press is great.
I
I
didn't
think he did
know.
it on
I
his
didn't know.
Instagram. He's like, "Love you, can't believe it. Obviously, I was in shock, whatever. But let's
Yeah,
go Grizzlies kind of thing. And it's one of these situations where it is kind of a win-win because it's like we were probably going to move on from Marcus Smart either this year or next year. There's been a little bit of a decline. He is 30 now, right? So it's like sometimes you see a little decline, maybe 20,
Look,
I mean, 30,
when he
30,
come back to
32.
the Garden, though, he's gonna get applause. Bro.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's the beauty. He's not gonna
And
get the
I mean,
boo. He's not gonna get the,
who knows? He's the kind of guy we might even get back, right? But
Yeah.
in some form or another, because we love him and we'd always need him back, right?
Right.
He'd have a role,
Always an option.
right,
On the
right.
table.
But it's like we have not had an elite point guard, honestly, since Kyrie Irving, and that was kind of a mess, right? That was when JB and JT were just starting out, and you know, you can say Kemba Walker, you know, had like a year or two where he was still kind of in his prime. We had him, but since then it's been trying to cobble it together, and I think they're still going to be in that mode.
Kemba. We did have Kemba for a year, huh?
Right? No, we had him for two.
For
I
two?
think. So it's like you're trying to cobble together like point guard by committee. Like Malcolm Brogdon, they tried to trade him, but he was injured, and now people wouldn't accept the trade. Right? They're like, no, he's damaged goods right now. Until we know what's the deal with him, we're not taking him. So it kind of left them with like, okay, I think they're almost interchangeable. It's like they're lucky to have a Marcus and a Malcolm Brogdon. Obviously, he was the Sixth Man of the Year award. He was the previous Rookie of the Year. He had one of the highest three-point percentages in the NBA, and he couldn't shoot in the playoffs after we found out he was injured. He couldn't even reach the basket almost, right? So you figure with a healthy him, right, he could honestly be the starting point guard, but I think they were really blown away by Derek White this year. And they're like, look, we have a diamond in the rough.
And what is he? Is this his third? How many years as deep as he's been around? Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they just got him, but he had been in the league previously. I don't know. I want to say it's like his fifth year. No, he came in the same year as Tatum, I think. So it might be his sixth, going on seventh.
But yeah, he's been on that
young.
rise, like that genuine, you know, rise of skill level just keep getting better and better.
Dude, his story is insane, bro. He was this skinny.
Did you see the Air movie?
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh no, not the new Air movie. No, I want to. So don't tell me about it.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna tell you, you have to watch it.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to see it. It's definitely on the list.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know.
No, definitely on the list.
Bro, that whole thing about what we're talking about and just like, you know, confidence in when you recognize that there's a player that has confidence and they already have the genuine, you know, fundamentals and the good skills, but that confidence when someone owns that the most, those are the best players ever.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Players, you know?
I mean, so he was like this skinny, almost goofy, geeky kind of kid, right? Who they didn't really think was going to be a player. He managed to make his high school team. I don't know if it was his second year or his third year. He makes his high school team, has a little bit of a growth spurt, right? So he goes from this tiny, undersized kid. And, you know, he's like a legit 6'5", probably even taller, right? So he's you know, sometimes people say 6'4" or whatever. He's like in that 6'5", 6'6" kind of range. He got some height to him, right? He's long. He's got some height. But he was this undersized, skinny kid. They say he weighed like 90 pounds when he was like a sophomore in high school, right? He hits a growth spurt. He goes from like 5 whatever, you know, gets up to like 6 whatever. But his dad, here's the crazy story though. His dad had a major growth spurt, right? Late in life. And the coach knew that. The coach knew about his dad. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take a gamble on him. And the kid went from like, you know, 5'10" to 6'5", right? And so all of a sudden now you're like bona fide. He had no offers coming out of high school, right? Then he has a little bit of a growth spurt before that. Then he hits the major one and he goes from like unrecruited, unknown, barely making the team kind of kid who's dribbling because he's smaller. He's got handles, right? And then all of a sudden he grows now. He goes from D3 to like D2 to D1, does the transfer thing, playing an unknown. But what happened is, and I'm probably hacking the story a little bit, is the coach for the team that he basically walked on to in college, that they couldn't give him a scholarship. They only gave him what's called like preferred status, which means they usually pay for room and board, but they're not paying for your school, right? So he's at this like D3 school, D2 school, right? Trying to get to D1. He would have never got the D1 spot if his coach didn't actually get a job. His coach, who made the leap earlier, if the D3 guy gets sent up to D1, and he remembers like, oh yeah, this kid's a player. And so if the coach didn't get the promotion, the coach actually landed in the school that ended up taking him. And so, they take him on a flyer like, I think this kid's going to work because I think he's going to have the growth spurt. Has another growth spurt. Becomes, and he's just a workhorse kind of kid who's just steadily got better. He was always good on D. Yeah. He was always a pretty good shooter, and he could handle the ball. And then he just needed size, and he got size, and he started building the confidence, and it's like he's turned into like a bona fide, like legit player,
no matter who you are. If you make it to the NBA, you're a good player, right? Like. I can't wait for
Brian.
Wemby, when Wemby comes in this league. I don't know if Wemby is going to be something spectacular. Like,
8-foot wingspan, bro.
Yeah, it's
8-foot
moving
wingspan.
like Steve Nash, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's young and he is thin, and so there's always the injury thing. Will he get pushed around? Hey, speaking of, hey, wait, hold on, we have a visitor. Come on. That was Henry. Quo's over here. He said, "Is that Henry?" I said, yes.
Henry?
He said, "What's up, Henry?" Oh, you can't hear you because I got the headphones on. But he said hi. This is Tavi.
What's up,
Tavia is going crazy. Yep. She is very excited to see me. Was she in your room?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like,
oh, okay. She's done. So I'm trying to hold her head. Will you stop pushing away from me so people can see you? All right.
But y'all, listen, man. It's 10:07. I'm about to hit the hay.
Yes.
Had a long
me
night.
too. I'm trying to.
I got to jump on the show. It just so happened you reached me at a good time. And
absolutely.
We're gonna be in touch, bro. Regardless, anyway. I got to talk to you.
Dad.
All right, my man.
All right. Peace, everybody. Peace. Appreciate y'all. ProQuo Show. We out.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, Henry. And Henry is telling me good night. So this is Tavi. Say hi, Tavi. You a good girl? Are you a good girl? Are you
she's not a good girl.
She is a good girl. What do you mean she's not a good girl? There she is. All right, this is Tavi. So, yes, Tree. She is cute, but she is also energetic. Oh, she's hearing your foot. Are you scratching? Yeah, she's hearing that. She's just here. Turn her head. She's like, so everybody, this is Tavi. She is a Cavapoo. She is not quite a year, so she's 11 months and change. And she will be in puppy mode for probably another year and a half or so. But she's calmed down a little bit, right? She's not quite as crazy as she used to be. But she's still crazy. She's still crazy. And she gets this, by the way, this is the furriest you're going to see her. She has her grooming appointment tomorrow, so she's going to look way skinnier because she's mostly just fluff.
Is this a good girl?
She is a good girl. I was talking about you earlier and your trophy and your wonderful job. All right. Well, we're going to have to sign off in a minute, too. So this is Tavia. Get your eyeball out of here. So this is Tavia. And she's signing off. She hasn't gotten big. She's only 12 pounds, Tree. So it's not like she's that big. So she just looks big. She's covered in fluff. So.
Hello, I'm signing up too.
Speaking of people who gotten big, you're big. Okay. So this is Tavi. Yes. And are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Yes, you are a good girl. Yes, you are. Cavapoos are King Cavalier Spaniels mixed with poodles. Well, mini poodles.
How come it's a drawing that says the ProQuo Show? Do you guys draw that?
Yeah, I like that one. I have multiple ones. So I didn't.
Hey, don't bite the wire. Don't bite the wire.
There's this one.
Do that.
How about that one? Professor Lyrical. How about this one?
Don't bite the wire.
Okay. I think people have probably seen enough of her. Yes. Well, I'm not sure if they ever know.
Is this a good girl?
Have a wonderful weekend. You too. Tree, take up. You've been dog sitting all night. Oh, Tree said hi, Henry. Good night.
Oh.
All right. You got to get off the camera.
No, I don't.
You don't have camera clearance.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
Well, Tavia doesn't.
He's going to have a gaming computer soon.
Maybe.
If he does what he needs to do. All right, Tavi.
She's a Gucci.
This is the extended bonus.
Thank you,
part
Trina.
of the ProQuo Show.
I don't know.
Payson. Yep.
Miss Payson, I guess.
Yes. All right. It's that time. All right, we're gonna close out with the themes. Hey, are you taking her or am I taking her?
She's not gonna sleep. Well, she can sleep. You can come and put me to bed if you're ending.
I will. All right, I will. All right.
How long?
All right, folks. We're closing out now. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
he does what he can.
Hey, that's not true.
I was about to say thank you, and my son's not too bad either. But see what I did there?
No,
What up?
I don't see what the.
What up, Daz?
What did you do there?
It was a joke. She said, "Beautiful boy," and I was like, "Well, what about my son?" See, I was
talking
meaning
about
that
me.
exactly, and that's what made it the joke. See, I was like, "Oh yeah, but you got to say something nice about my son too." So,
I don't understand that.
so it said, "Gorgeous boy," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, but make sure you say something about my son," pretending it was about me when it really wasn't. It was about
Where's
you.
Quo?
He just left.
Oh.
So, night. What? Congratulations, my man. Getting married in 50 days.
Nice.
All right. We were just trying to wrap up the show here.
Does the mic work?
The mic does work. You're here. Put the headphones on. You'll hear what.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
I can hear myself, and I
Yes.
can hear the mouse and everything.
Yes. There's a little bit of
Dad, I
feedback.
can literally hear the mouse.
Yes, you can hear the mouse. That tells you what other people can hear too. There. Let's put that one on.
There you go.
How about this one?
Yeah.
All right.
My voice sounds weird in this thing.
Here. You know what else we can do? Hey, Daz. Check this out. I like this one. Support the stream, right? Look at this one. Hey, you want to buy something? You can buy from.
No, stop doing the shameless promotion.
I wasn't really trying to. It's just that it's a new feature, and I said, "Oh, let me put something there from my store so that we can try it." Are you talking? Are you a good girl? So, who does this dog love?
She loves me.
She does. She loves Henry.
No, she doesn't. She loves Daddy.
She does. She does love Daddy, but she loves you guys too. It's just she loves me more for some reason.
No, she loves both of us.
She does. She does. She follows me
Tavia.
everywhere, and she sits on my feet all
Is
day.
this a good girl? Hi. No, don't do that.
All right, we gotta go.
Bye, ProQuo people, fans, or whatever.
Bye,
Yeah,
ProQuo
I don't
people, fans, or
know.
whatever.
Bye, ProQuo people, fans.
The Henry Show. Yes, the Henry Show. All right, it's time to go.
Bye.
You got a tan, bro. You've been getting that sun. All right, later, folks.
Bye.
We're getting ready to. Oh, we're gonna end with
So ready to.
We're gonna end with that. Ready? So here we're gonna end with. Peace.